Greetings, everybody. Your boy Boyo is back. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but yes, I'm back here in the garage once again. And today's video, we're going to be talking about my ideas for the Zelda 35th anniversary. These aren't necessarily hopes, these are just my personal ideas, because, I mean, you can't really hope for something that's not going to for sure happen, so these are just my ideas for the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary. Hopefully Nintendo gets around to making Zelda Direct soon, hopefully by mid or late April, or maybe into May. I don't know, hopefully they make a Zelda Direct before summer begins. But before we get into the video, I'd just like to announce that I have some other ideas coming up as well. The wrestling tournament is going to be starting most probably tomorrow, or if not Wednesday. The capture card is on its way in the mail as we speak. It was originally supposed to come in on Wednesday the 15th, but I guess it's coming a day early. It's going to be coming here tomorrow. So, yes, I'm going to be doing a test stream playing Breath of the Wild with my capture card, making sure everything works and everything, and just basically getting used to the capture card, and I also have some new recipes coming up. Okay, so with those updates out of the way, let's get into my ideas for the Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary, and what I would like to see Nintendo come out with. Now, before we start, just a little disclaimer, I won't really be talking about Breath of the Wild 2 because I've already expressed my thoughts in Breath of the Wild 2 in another video and all my hopes for it. So yes, these are just some game ideas and some other stuff. Okay, so let's start out with the remasters. Now, of all 5 3D Zelda games, I believe the most deserving of a remaster is probably Majora's Mask. And as I've said before, there's about 6 3D Zelda games, counting Breath of the Wild, but that's obviously too new to have a remaster, plus we got a sequel coming out. And as I've expressed, my favorite Zelda game of all time, and my favorite 3D Zelda game is Ocarina of Time. However, I don't think that should be remastered because I think it's been remastered enough times already, specifically on the GameCube and the 3DS, and I'm sure they have it on the eShop and on Switch, and it also has a virtual console version on Wii U, so I don't think Ocarina of Time needs another remaster, because not only has it been released enough times already, but overall there's just not that much to do in Ocarina of Time. There's not even a whole lot of side quests. There's a few mini games, but overall there's just not much to do after you beat the main game. The most fun game I've ever played in the Zelda series, the game with the most variety, I would say, is Majora's Mask, and I would say Twilight Princess is the runner-up for most variety. But overall, I'd like to see a Majora's Mask HD, because that game is just so amazing. There's so much to do. You can collect every single mask in the game. There's so many side quests, so many mini games, and you could even battle some of the bosses in a rematch, and it's just overall a really fun game, and you're most likely to have a lot of fun even after you beat the main game. So yes, I believe the most deserving Zelda game of an HD remaster or an HD remake or whatever is most certainly The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. So, another remake idea I have is Four Swords Adventures, because I'm not gonna lie, Four Swords Adventures is probably my overall favorite 2D Zelda game. and the Minish Cap is probably my second favorite 2D Zelda game, but I would say Four Swords Adventures is arguably the best 2D Zelda game out there. And I say arguably because a lot of people might say that it's actually either Minish Cap or A Link to the Past, but I personally love Zelda Four Swords Adventures for not only nostalgia reasons, but also because of the gameplay. I just love the arcade-style gameplay, and you get to control 4 links at once, and honestly, it's one of the most nostalgic Zelda games out there, in my personal opinion. And plus, it has a really great soundtrack. I really love the soundtrack for Four Swords Adventures. It's not the best, but it sure is great. And I think that Four Swords Adventures would just work so perfectly on Switch, especially with multiplayer. Everybody knows that the Switch is one of the best multiplayer consoles out there, and so it would work perfectly with multiplayer. I just think Four Swords Adventures would work perfectly on the Switch for reasons that I don't even have to explain. Okay. Now you guys may also be thinking, well, boy, what about a collection of games? Like what we got with Mario 3D All-Stars. Well, I don't think there should be a 3D collection. I think we should get The Legend of Zelda 2D All-Stars with all of the 2D games on there. I believe there are about 8 or 9 2D games in total. And so I would just love to see Nintendo take the classic route with the Zelda 35th anniversary. They could just release every single 2D Zelda game in one collection, apart from Four Swords Adventures, because as I've expressed that I already am hoping for Four Swords Adventures to be a remake as of its own. So I think that this collection bundle should have the original Four Swords, Minish Cap, A Link to the Past, the Oracle games, the original Link's Awakening, preferably the DX version, The Legend of Zelda, and The Adventure of Link. So that's 8 games in one collection. I really think it'd be awesome if Nintendo went down this route, because I know Street Fighter did a similar thing with their anniversary. They released a whole bunch of classic Street Fighter games all in one collection. I believe it was for the 30th anniversary. And not gonna lie, that was pretty amazing. And so I'd definitely like to see that with Legend of Zelda. Just go down the same route that Street Fighter took and just release a bunch of classic games in one collection. I personally do have the Street Fighter collection on my PS4, and it is amazing. I'm currently working through Street Fighter 2, and it's overall an amazing game. And one spin-off game I'd like to see for The Legend of Zelda is a game that revolves around shield surfing. Preferably a shield surfing racing game. I don't know why, but I just feel like this would be absolutely amazing. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that we saw a Zelda spin-off that revolves around one concept. Of course, we got Link's crossbow training, which revolved around using a bow and arrow and target practice and everything. Might be kind of weird to have a spin-off revolve around one concept, but I think if they made a shield surfing racing game, I don't know why, but for me, I think that'd be really interesting for a spin-off title. And finally, let's discuss which character should make it into Smash Bros. For the Zelda 35th anniversary. I personally would be surprised if Nintendo didn't release a new Zelda fighter for Smash Bros. Ultimate, because the anniversary's coming up and whatnot. So I think they should release a Zelda character for the final slot and in the second Fighter's Pass. And they might even release a third Fighter's Pass, who knows. But yes, a long time ago, as you guys may remember, I said I wanted Zant in Smash, but I kind of thought it over, and I don't think Zant would make a good option for Smash, because his moveset isn't really that wide. I mean, heck, most of Zant's boss fight is just him imitating other bosses. And really, the only other abilities he has are like shooting orbs of darkness and he also has these knives that he'll chase after you with. But apart from that, I don't think Zant's moveset is that big. Personally, I would like to see Vaddie kind of rethinking it. I think Vaddie would make a perfect entry for Smash Bros. Ultimate, because his moveset is just so huge and wide. He has the most abilities. And I posted a poll over on MeWe. I mean, I'm not going to say everybody who's on it, but Zant was in second place and Midna was in first place. And the poll was, who do you think should make it into Smash Ultimate for the 35th anniversary? And most people either voted Zant or Midna. Midna was first place, Zant was second place, but personally, I think Vaddie would make a great entry. Not only because he's an underrated villain, but because the 2D games are very underrated in themselves. So yes, those are all my ideas for Zelda 35th anniversary. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys for the Breath of the Wild stream and a big tournament coming up soon. So yes, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe.